Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and we're going to look at the Survivor Series Watch Party predictions. You have 1 day and 22 hours to get your predictions in. So these are my predictions here, but let's go over the matches first of all. So the first match rumoured to be on the card is going to be Seth Rollins as the US Champion going against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. That one, I think Seth Rollins is going to retain. I could see them putting the belt on Austin Theory to sort of apologise for taking the Money in the Bank off of him. And I could also see them giving Bobby Lashley another huge run, considering that Bobby Lashley just beat Brock Lesnar. But I think the idea is to have Seth Rollins fight Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble, and then for Cody to win the Royal Rumble itself, and then Cody to take the belt off of Reigns at Mania. I think that's what the lead up is. And I think the whole idea is that Roman Reigns hasn't actually defeated Seth Rollins since he's been champion. So I think that's the storyline that they're going to go into. So I could see Seth Rollins retaining his US title and going after Roman Reigns and having US champion versus the Universal World Champion. But I could also see Seth Rollins dropping the belt so that Seth Rollins can go and fight Roman Reigns, and then the US title can be defended, maybe Lashley versus Austin Theory or Royal Rumble. So that's one idea. So that one I'm not totally sure. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins, but I couldn't say for certain. Then you've got AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor is going to have... That's a noisy song. We're going to lower that. Finn Balor is going to have the rest of Judgment Day on his side, apart from Rhea Ripley. So he's going to have Damian Priest and he's going to have Dominic Mysterio. But AJ Styles is going to have the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson on his side, but they won't have Mia Yim because Rhea Ripley and Mia Yim are both in the WarGames match. So I think it makes more sense for AJ Styles to finally pick up a win over Finn Balor. Either to keep the feud going or for that to be the feud ender for Styles to fight Balor. And I don't know what the storyline they build after that is. I think we just need to wait and see. Then we've got Ronda Rousey as champion versus Shotzi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't think Shotzi has a chance in hell. I think Ronda absolutely just goes in and dominates that match and walks out, gets her paycheck. I think Ronda is a guaranteed win for that match. Then we have the women's WarGames match, which is Bianca Belair. Oh, I thought that would just come up. Bianca Belair, okay. So, Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, who we don't have, and one to be announced, which is heavily rumoured to be Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch might show up on SmackDown, or they might wait until the actual pay-per-view itself for Becky Lynch to make her return. But that is looking to be the big return, that to be announced comeback. And I think if that is what happens, then we haven't seen Bianca Belair lose any pay-per-view matches anytime recently. She did take that pinfall loss to Becky Lynch, but that was... No, not Becky Lynch. She took the pinfall loss to Bayley, not Becky Lynch, sorry. Thinking of the wrong horsewoman. But that didn't go anywhere, and then Bianca Belair won the following 2, or is it even 3 title matches. So I just don't see Bianca Belair losing this one, especially if they've got a returning Becky Lynch. I think it would just make Becky Lynch look weak if she came back and didn't win. And they're against Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. And I don't think it really hurts Nikki Cross, Rhea Ripley, or Damage Control for them to lose. It's the first time that Rhea Ripley's been in a women's match for a good while, because she's been going around with not Damage Control. She's been going around with... Oh my goodness, I said it earlier. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley's been going around with Judgment Day. So I think her just getting a shot in a main event women's match is like good for her. Nikki Cross has been floundering on mid card with that Nikki SH gimmick, and she's only just returned to being Nikki Cross and being crazy again once again. She won the 24/7 championship and then dumped it in a bin that she missed. So I think that's fine. And of course, Damage Control, Bailey, and the rest of them, like, they have been losing and they're still, top of the card. So I don't think it does anything to have them lose, but I think it hinders Bianca Belair and it hinders Becky Lynch if them two lose, especially if this is them teaming up for the first time since Bailey's return. So I think if Becky is cleared to wrestle, it's going to be Becky Lynch, and I think that is a fairly solid guaranteed victory. And then lastly, we've got the main event, which is the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and the Usos against Drew McIntyre, the Brawling Brutes, and Kevin Owens. The Brawling Brutes, of course, being Sheamus, Butch, and Rich Holland. So I think Roman Reigns absolutely wins. I could actually see the Bloodline winning with all 5 members intact, like not losing a single person. I think they're setting up feuds. I think that's maybe what they're going for here. They're maybe going to have Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland, Butch and Ridge Holland, going for the tag titles against the Usos. I could maybe see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn obviously have their gimmick going at the moment. I could see Sheamus or McIntyre going against Roman Reigns or Solo Sikoa, and either one of them I think would be fine. Whichever one they decide to pair against the other. Drew McIntyre has already had matches with Roman Reigns, so I could see them putting Drew McIntyre against Solo Sikoa, and with the work that Sheamus has been doing recently, especially with that blood match that he had against Gunther, I could see them rewarding Sheamus and giving him a title picture gimmick, and having Sheamus versus Roman Reigns, because we haven't really had Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. We haven't really seen Sheamus in the main event for a good long while, so this might be his push to the top of that. I don't think we're going to get Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns anytime soon. I think what is going to happen, is Kevin Owens is going to be, like, Sami Zayn is going to be forced to fight Kevin Owens by the Bloodline, and I think through that Kevin Owens is going to kind of break Sami Zayn's brainwashing, and it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos for the tag titles at Mania. I could see that being what goes down, how that goes around. I think there's also rumour of The Rock willing to work with WWE, and I think if The Rock is willing to work for WWE and they want to do Rock versus Roman Reigns at Mania, then I think the idea of Cody winning the Royal Rumble kind of goes out the window. So I don't know what happens there, because they've been wanting to do Rock versus Roman Reigns for like 3 years now, and they haven't been able to get it. But I think if Roman Reigns does fight The Rock, then Roman Reigns wins, because what do you do once you put the belt on The Rock? What does that accomplish? It doesn't do anything. I think you just have Roman Reigns continue to hold the belt, and then possibly at SummerSlam, or possibly even hold it to the following year's WrestleMania and lose the belt to Cody Rhodes then. But I mean, that's very long storytelling, if that's what they want to go for. Very long booking. And I mean, the new Triple H era, I trust it more than the Vince McMahon era, but I don't trust WWE to be able to hold a year-long storyline, not unless it involves Rock and Cena. And even at that was more like 2 months towards the end of the year, before WrestleMania. Because it was announced at the start of the year, and then they just forgot about it for 10 months. You know, they didn't keep, you know, teasing it, you know, like, you know, every single week. It's what I'm trying to say. So that's my predictions for Survivor Series. It's a quick rundown again. I genuinely think the Bloodline is going to win their WarGames. I think, in fact, is WarGames even elimination? I think WarGames is just first pinfall, isn't it? I think it is. So yeah, so I think Bloodline just, like, you know, straight up win that. I definitely think that Bianca, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and what I assume is Becky Lynch are going to beat Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. I think Ronda Rousey is going to destroy Shotzi, and it's not even going to be a match. I could see AJ Styles beating Finn Balor, and I think Seth Rollins is going to retain. But I could easily see Seth Rollins dropping the title to Lashley or Austin Theory. That's the one I'm least confident on. Also, I mean, the AJ Styles and Finn Balor could really go either way. I don't think there's any chance that Shotzi has of winning against Ronda Rousey, so I think that's guaranteed. And I don't see Roman Reigns and the Bloodline losing in, you know, the WarGames match where, like, the 5 members of the Bloodline all work together. I don't see them, you know, agreeing to put the other's team over. Not unless if it's first pinfall and Sami Zayn is the one that loses, and that causes the tension. Maybe that could be the storyline where the entire Bloodline, you know, looks at Sami Zayn and it's like, you know, like, it starts, like, you know, filtering in that, you know, like, not the Bloodline's falling apart, but they want Sami out of the Bloodline. You know, that's what I could see happening. Or I could see Sami Zayn, you know, not wanting to, like, kill Kevin Owens, and you know, Roman Reigns is like, why aren't you doing what I'm saying? You know, like, why aren't you doing what I'm telling you to? You know, this kind of thing. That could also be a finish to the match, which is a very possibility. But I think if Bianca Belair and her team of good guys are beating the bad guys, then I think the heel team of the Bloodline are beating the good guys of the Brawling Brutes and McIntyre and Kevin Owens. Because I don't see both good guys winning, and I don't see both bad guys winning, because that's the way the WWE book their shows. But that is my plans, that is my predictions for Survivor Series. Let me know what you think below, if you've got any other comments. If you want to try and follow the same as what I'm doing, by all means. The reason that I went for these ones is because obviously I've got my double heroic Alexa Bliss, I've got my double heroic Roman Reigns. So that is my main gamble, is these two. And also that's the main gamble for both WarGames matches. And I think if you gamble on a WarGames match, that's much easier, unless you've got a really good Ronda Rousey. But unfortunately, none of my Ronda Rouseys are certainly anywhere up there. So, as you can see, what I've got to choose from. I mean, I've got a whole load of Baileys, but I'm so certain that Bailey is going to lose that I wouldn't trust it. So, yeah, that's my idea. But that is going to be it for this video, folks. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these videos go out. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.